picked experiment number 3, make your own insect pooter. Now, insect pooters are great tools for scientists to collect small, tiny bugs without damaging or harming them. You guys are gonna have so much fun identifying what you are collecting. After you use your insect pooter to collect different types of specimen, you are actually going to go online and research online pictures and try to compare your insect to what you see online. I want you to have tons of fun determining the type of species, which is just the type of bug you have collected as your specimen. So, insect pooters are most commonly used by a scientist like an entomologist, and they use it for field and lab work. Now, an entomologist studies insects, and it's just a branch or a type of zoologist. Now, a pooter actually got its name from its inventor, and his name was William Poos. For real, his last name was Poos. And the insect pooter is also called the insect aspirator. It's just a low-tech device with a bug at one end and a scientist's mouth on the other, and the scientist quickly and sharply inhales and sucks up the bug into the tube to be able to collect for the specimen and to observe and do more research on. Now, many entomologists make their own pooters like we are going to be doing today because they have the supplies readily available and on hand. But just the basic pooter from any lab supply company is only like $8, so they're pretty inexpensive. Now, whenever we're talking about larger animals like spiders or millipedes or crickets, well, you could wear a plastic bag on your hand and use that to collect bugs. Now, the insect pooter that we are making today is not going to be big enough for you to collect huge bugs because of the size of the tube, because we are using a small straw. Now, if you wanted to make one that's bigger and you have like a pipe or some sort of like a rubber tube that you can use, that's great. But for those of you that want to kind of extend this activity and find bigger insects to collect, like I said, like spiders or millipedes or crickets, you can use a plastic bag. And what you're going to do is you're going to turn the bag inside out. And you're going to use it basically like a glove. And you're going to put your hand over top of the specimen and catch it. And then you're going to turn the bag inside out. So I just have this napkin. So we're going to pretend that this is a huge spider. And my bag's inside out. I'm going to put my hand over it. I'm going to gently grab a hold of it. And then I flip my bag inside out. Now, I know that it's not rocket science for you to understand that keeping bugs in plastic bags and in a plastic cup or tube is no way to treat our environment or its ecosystems. So after you collect the bugs for specimen and you do your research and you observe them, then it is time for you to set them back into their natural habitat. It's not safe, it's not healthy, and it's not smart to keep these animals out of their natural habitat. But I'm pretty sure you guys already knew that. So with all of that aside, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that you guys are going to need to do is stop what you're doing, go back into Schoology, and I want you to read over completely the entire list of supplies that you need and make sure you have them collected and ready to go. And then you are going to read over all of the instructions, making sure that you're being a good scientist, that you're well prepared, and you know what to expect. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I've already taken the time to set up the things that I need for the experiment. So I'm going to be using the same instructions that you have. Like I said, I've already set up all of my supplies, so I'm ready to start my experiment. Step number 1, depending on the type of container you are using, a plastic cup, a Tupperware bottle, you will need to punch a hole or use a hole punch or a drill to put a hole on either side. Now I have a pretty thin and easy material to work with, so I can actually use a hole punch, and my hole punch is right here, hold on. So I don't need to use a drill to drill through either side. So I'm just going to make my hole on both sides. All right, so see I made a hole on both sides of my cup. All right, step 2, cut a small piece of nylon and secure it around the end of the straw with tape. This will act as a filter to stop you from getting little insects in your mouth when you use the insect pooter. This is absolutely one that I am not going to forget to do because you guys know I'm a freak about insects and bugs. So I definitely don't want to get them in my mouth. All right, so I've got my straw and nylon. I'm actually using, I had a pair of pantyhose. You can use nylon or any other type of breathable material. If it's anything like a rag or anything that is too thick, you're not going to be able to have your breath in the air from your mouth to be able to suck in any of the bugs. So you want to make sure that it's not a material that is too thick. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut my material here. I'm going to try. All right, now I can just fold it this way. I'm actually going to fold my little piece in half here just to be extra cautious. All right, and I'm going to test it to make sure that I have enough room. Actually, I don't think that doubling it is going to be enough. I'm going to just do, yeah, that's better. Okay, so I don't have regular tape, I just have this Scotch tape, and I'm going to take a piece of it. So like I said, make sure, you guys just saw me, I had to test mine to make sure that I was going to have enough airflow to be able to have the pressure to suck in my bugs. So I can just tape all the way around. All right. Okay, so I've gotten that step done. You can see that I will not suck any little bugs up here, which is good. So it says, put the straws through the hole and secure them on both sides with Play-Doh, clay, or blue tack so that they are nice and airtight. All right, so I'm going to, you could use one straw and cut it in half, but let's see if I can get this one in here. And I'm going to use 2 different straws, I thought. Perfect. So I've got my straw in here. This is the one that my mouth is going to be on. Now you could cut the straw in half and just use this side for the bugs and then this side for your mouth. However, I don't want to be that close to the bug, so I'm going to make sure that my straw is a little bit longer so that I'm not all up and close and personal to these bugs. You guys know me. All right. So I wanted to make sure that the bendy part is on both sides. That way that whenever I'm sucking up the bug, I can kind of move it around and it's not sharp. Okay. I don't have any clay, but I do have some Play-Doh. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm just going to roll some out here and put it around my tube just to make sure that it is secure and airtight. And I'm just going to pat it down that way that I know there is no air getting in there. And I'm actually going to do this to both sides. And this is just going to make sure that it is secured and airtight. That way no air is coming through. And whenever you inhale sharply, you are going to be able to suck up the bug without there being any errors. And it takes a minute because you just want to make sure that it is secure. So you can see there that I have it secured on both sides, and I need to do my other straw. And once the Play-Doh dries, it'll be a lot better too. Okay. So it seems like I'm pretty secure on both of my sides, on the inside and on the outside. All right, looks good. So moving on, it says put a lid on the top or use plastic wrap to cover the top and secure it with a rubber band. Now, because I'm using a plastic cup, I do not have a lid, so I'm going to be using saran wrap. So I'm going to just get out some plastic wrap. And just to make sure it's really secure, I'm going to fold it in half. Perfect. I'm just going to lay it right over top of my cup, and I'm going to use a rubber band to secure it. And there we are, kids. That's my Pooter. So fun. All right, so if you want to test it and see if it's working, use small pieces. I have a couple things of rice here. So let's see if I need to make any adjustments. So my rice is just pretty much acting as like little ants or something. So remember, the part that has the nylon on the end is the one I'm going to put my mouth on, because that's what's going to stop any bugs from getting inside of my mouth whenever I sharply inhale. Ready? I got some. So mine is working really, really well. So I'm excited. I'm gonna go outside and mess around and see how many bugs I can collect. Go and have fun, interact with our environment. You saw it was trial and error for me. I had to make sure that my holes were right, that I secured my straws airtight. You might, after you use it, have to make some adjustments, but definitely make sure that you test it with little grains of rice or anything small that you have in your house that could act as like a small bug, just to make sure that you have the right pressure and that you don't have to make any adjustments to your insect Pooter. Have fun. Let me know if you guys decide to catch anything bigger than a small insect and you grab them with your hand. I can't wait to see your guys' pictures. This is really exciting. So go and have fun, interact with the environment, have fun in nature, and like I said, I can't wait to see your pictures and to hear about all of the cool things that you guys discovered. Happy learning. I love you, kids, and I'll see you next time. Bye.